Hello, this video is part of our Getting Started series, and I'm going to introduce you to our 11 wizards in the software. I'm going to come over here to the left side of the panel and just hit the wizard. And you'll see there we have 11 wizards that are identified there. And let me move that over just a bit. So, and then I've created projects that show what these wizards produce. The first one being air system, air handling configurable. So on configurable air handler, the air handler is right here. And as you go through that wizard, it gives you options to configure what you want in that air handler. Heating, cooling coil, filters, different things like that. And then obviously, if you choose hydronic coils, it'll give you hydronic heating and then cooling schematic, as well as the gas piping down below related to the boiler here. Now, if you choose the air handler custom, you're going to have the ability to come in here, and let me zoom in a bit, and actually we help you lay out the air handler, a custom air handler, where you want the coils to be, the filters, what type of fans, and then size that custom air handler for you. And then we'll typically always create the airflow diagram. You'll see the fans and coils and how they relate to a space, and louvers and dampers. The difference between that space of green and this one over here of gray is this is an ASHRAE 62 space. If it's a blue color space, then it would be an ASHRAE 170 medical type space. Then once again, since there are hydronic coils in there, we created the respective diagrams there. Now the rooftop unit configurable, the difference between it and it's a different color, as you can see. And then the choices default to more rooftop, gas-fired equipment, packaged equipment on cooling. That's why the other diagrams were created, but you can have those, if you choose those options in there, it'll create the diagrams as well. And the rooftop custom, once again, it's a little bit different color. I've got that green shading than the air handler custom, and it defaults also to package type equipment. It still gives you the airflow diagram, gas piping that goes to probably the gas heat exchanger in there. Now with all these wizards, you can actually come in and file, import, and we can import loads programs, the load data, right, from Trane, Carrier, Elite, Revit. What that does is on a space, it's going to input the load data, the weather data, location, the heat loss, heating and cooling CFMs in a space, exhaust, temperatures of the space, number of people. Now that data can easily be put in if you don't want to do an import. When you just go to these wizards, it prompts you for that information. If you're just dealing with one space, then you don't have to put that data in a lot of times. If you're dealing with lots of spaces, then that data needs to be put in each space. Over to the air terminal wizard here. That's the next one down on the list. We're going to build as many spaces as you want, and you'll see here on this air terminal, I put in a little, let's just click on it. So I put an indoor VRF in there. So you can have a VRF that builds it in the ductwork, so that would be above the ceiling, or over here, I included the VRF in the space. And then once again, we'll create the VRF piping diagram. On these, we're just creating those terminal units, and then you'll hook an air handler to it, and you'll hook the related generation components down there as well. All these systems we're talking about and looking at right here, you'll notice you can do a constant volume. There's no terminal unit there. You can put a VAV box in there. You can put obviously like fan coils or heat pumps, VRF as we just looked at. So they can all be built with the different options of other type systems. And then the next one would be our hydronic fluid separation. That's just going to build heat exchangers, plate and frame, shell and tube with the related pumps. And then you can put that in a diagram if you have like glycol in a system, you need to separate the fluids. This has also been added to the hydronic wizards too when you're going through that. Hydronic generation is just going to build whatever generation you want. Boilers and chillers, and different types of things like that, different heat pumps. The hydronic subloop is going to build any of the kind of the load out in the system. So here we have fan coils. You can have heat pumps, other types of things, the subloop. So you would take this subloop and the different types of loads and how many you have, and you would connect that to a generation system. And then the hydronic system wizard, that builds the generation and the subloops together all in one wizard, so you don't have to build them separate. You can see once again, heating, cooling. And then the IPS, that's a new wizard we've just added lately. That integrates your heating, hot and chilled water with your domestic. So, and then on this case, it's got fan coils. So all that water's, you get rid of all the piping, you have just like a hot water supply and chilled water supply in return that goes out and serves all the fan coils and all the plumbing, hot and cold water fixtures. So our wizard creates that, and then down there it creates a little diagram so you can see how that takes place in the room itself, how the water goes to domestic and goes to fan coil units right there. It's a great design that's been used over the years, and we made the wizard to make it real easy to do. And then the last one will be our steam generation system that's going to build steam boiler, deaerators, different types of PRVs, and then you can just go come to the steam terminal, grab some type of load, put that down there, and then hook the load into that system. So those are the 11 wizards we have in the software. For new users, it's very easy to just go into those, simply answer the questions, and then it's going to give you a design like right here. And now you can come in and decide, well, I want to add another load, drag or drop. I want to add another boiler, and just start building your system that way. Like I say, it's a great way to get started. Hope this has been helpful. Hey, thanks for watching.